Okay, so Leo, have you read the chapter One Piece? Or have you read the chapter?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, good, good.
yeah.
I
I've
was
read the
hoping,
Will of Ohara.
I was hoping that you didn't read it because I just, I just wanted to hear your reaction to
To to a certain design, yeah.
to a
I'm
certain
guessing.
to a certain design. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so since you already read it, let's just jump right into it. And I always say we're gonna try to make this short, and we never do. But but yeah, let's try to make this short. Alright, so the Will of Ohara. Then we that's the name of the chapter, and we got the Jorma cover story. It says here, returning to Jorma with company, and you see Caesar and the Jorma siblings. They're flying towards Jorma. We see. I didn't notice this the first time, but the what they call the sails, they're all turned up. I didn't notice that. And the snails, they all have funny expressions. You know, one guy looks even angry. One of the snails, he looks kind of angry, maybe because they got
Well,
defeated, or that he's
one of
pushing
the
the ship. Hmm.
one that even looks like he's pogging.
Yeah, the one at the end. Yeah, this one. Yeah, he is pogging. That could be a reaction image. Okay. Yeah, that's all we got from the. So yeah, they escape Karakuri then, because of course Caesar, he uses his gas for the good escape, which is understandable. One Piece is like, yeah, there are a bunch of strong characters in One Piece, but if you're fighting against like a strong ability, a hacks ability, then it makes sense that Caesar managed to escape because of that. I'm pretty sure some people are annoyed though. Like those hardcore power skaters that is like with the Dragon Ball mentality. You know what type of power skaters I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, but over here we have the Hunter mentality. That yeah, it depends on the circumstances and the situations. So that I love all those comment this week about he got a gas grill before he
Wait,
could
pause,
make.
pause.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sharing the screen?
Oh no, I actually, yeah, I'm not. So okay, let me share the screen on Discord then really quick. Let me do that really quick. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, going live. Okay, okay, there. So, like I was saying, I love all those comments this week about the he got a new gas barbecue grill. That he's going to start cooking meat on the grill. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's on that phase. That he's going to start cooking grill in the grill. Okay, so you're seeing my screen now, right?
It's loading. It's loading.
Okay, okay. So while it loads, so it says here a shock to the whole crew. Last chapter we left off with Vegapunk with Shaka. Shaka saying that this is actually technology from the past, from from ways I think the voice center like not 900 years ago. And everyone was shocked. Also, Luffy and his gang, they discovered ancient robot. Some people are saying it looked like an ancient giant, like a robotic version of an ancient giant. So that's where we left off, and now we just continue from that. And I love that throughout the chapter, Shaka, he says this is just conjecture, and then he goes on and he gives basically the community's headcanon, because most of the things he says, it's like what most of the community thinks of what happened during the voice entry. You know, he says here, I once knew a passionate archaeologist who was willing to risk his life to shed light on a certain ancient kingdom. He's talking about Clover, which we see young Clover later on in the chapter. Um, this is new information. I'm pretty sure that they found machinery in a certain exhibition site, and he concluded that this is from the past. And that it was a advanced civilization. I love this moment. Robin's like, "Are you saying that machinery was created during the voice century?" And Shaka, he's like, "You tell me." Yeah, he's like, "You tell me." Yeah, he doesn't want to spill the beans completely. Um, but of course he knows the answer. He just wants to reveal everything. This is interesting. So, um, we just assume the Straw Hats they knew Robin's backstory, but now that I remember, I don't think they know. the whole situation. I don't know. I didn't reread those parts, but I think they don't know the full extent of her backstory. Maybe they know like a little bit, like the Buster Call. Um, maybe like Aokiji saving her. Um, and other stuff. But I don't think they know the full backstory. I know Luffy. I'm pretty sure Luffy doesn't know nothing because he's that type. He has said throughout the story that he doesn't care about your backstory. So yeah. They ask Robin, "Oh, Robin, is this true?" And then Shaka, he explains basically Robin's backstory. What happened to Ohara 22 years ago, and all that. And he says why he thinks they Buster call Ohara. And this is interesting. This is headcanon, but Shaka, he's saying that I believe the history of the war century is the history of a conflict, one between an alliance of 20 nations and this forgotten advanced kingdom. The victorious 20 went on to form the world government and shape history as we know it. And to ensure that the ideas of the Asian kingdom won't live on, they erased and every trace of it from history. Which that's like a popular theory. There were 20 kingdoms, and they just they fought against the Asian kingdom, and they won, and then they erased everything. So headcanon and Shaka, but Shaka says this is just conjecture. So this is just his little theory, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I really
Maybe.
love Frankie's reaction.
Oh yeah. Whoa, what an epic romantic tale. Which is yeah, he doesn't means some people are probably confused because some people probably think he means romantic as in the like love. But no, I'm pretty sure he means romantic as in the literature genre. You know what I mean? Like those epic adventures. Yeah, those epic adventures and all that. That's what he means. Which One Piece, the first arc is Romance Dawn. Which is that's what the whole story is about. The romance of adventure and the dawn and all that. Which is that's also the name of the channel. That's just uh what's the word when you have a name but you want to replace it eventually. I forgot there's a term for it, but I forgot. Yeah, I forgot what was the term. A placeholder. There we go. That's the term.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, Nami, she's surprised. Usopp as well. Sanji, he's the smart one. He's like, hang on, Vegapunk. You mean everyone who knows about this? And he says, yes, eliminate indeed. Which maybe that's why Cyberpole is going after Vegapunk. Maybe they found out that he knows all these things. They're like, oh, we need to kill him. Or I think we did discuss this. Maybe they're going to kill him because they're doing the great cleansing, and they don't want a smart guy like Vegapunk around, so they don't mind killing him. And now that we know that he knows all these things, it's just a bonus, that they're going to kill him. In the world government's eyes, the funny moment right here, Usopp says he hits himself in the back, like he hit in the head, but he does that, for some reason. For some reason, he does it like that instead of going forward, but it's just funny. He's like, "Oh, come on, brain, forget you didn't hear anything." And then like like he's been saying throughout the whole chapter, he's like, "This is just conjecture." And then he asked Robin, "So tell me, Nico Robin, if I am right, and that discovery is why Ohara was wiped out, then wouldn't the government's action be tantamount to a confirmation?" Which is, it's a good question. But Robin, she's like, why are you asking me? He should know already since he's in the high up position in the world government. And then he explains that affiliation and ranks and all that doesn't matter. He's in the dark like everyone else. Which I think he revealed in the SBS or in the Breeder card that I think Sengoku, he knows some things. Not sure if he knows everything. I think he knows what is the One Piece. Don't quote me at that. But Sengoku probably knows. Obviously, the girls say they know. Im obviously. I don't think Akainu knows. Yeah. Like if Sengoku knew because of his position, I don't think Akainu knows because he's still new. He's still fresh. Um, and they never tell everything to Akainu, the girl say, That's why Akainu is always big mad with the girl say because they never they never tell him anything. Like, he's always like, oh, you don't tell me anything, and then he becomes big mad. Um, which is so funny. I always love to see Akainu being big mad. Always, it always gives me, I don't know why. It's funny. Um, and yeah, Shaka basically saying, the ranking doesn't matter. Um, but of course, there's people who know. And then he explains even bringing this topic up to them, who result in immediate erasure, which that will happen to Cobra. Like, like the I don't think, yeah, they blame Ansel, like, but I'm pretty sure it's because Cobra he asked about the 20 kingdoms and the voice entry and all that, and they kill him and they blame Ansel. At least that's the theory. That's like the popular theory, which that's the theory that makes the most sense. And who was Nariko? Nariko didn't ask. It was just Cobra. Yeah. So and also as a bonus, they probably tried to kill Vivi as well. So something happened. She disappeared. Which my theory is that which actually I haven't heard anyone else say this, but my theory is that Shiryu got Vivi because they said that she disappeared. She vanished, and the only time they used that language in the series was when the Moria vanished in front of Don Flamingo. Which also is a funny moment. I love the Flamingo's explanation. He's like, "Oof, he just vanished. Oof, I didn't do the Durful could." He's like, "I didn't do the Durful could do that." Oh well. Yeah, he really didn't care about the mission to kill Moria. He's like, "Oh well, he vanished. Oh well." So yeah, that's what I think. Since we haven't seen Shiryu in a while, and Blackbeard he's been going around doing things, and Shiryu hasn't been with him in those situations. So that's why I think it's Shiryu. But also it could be Kuma. That Kuma warped her somewhere. Randy Troy thinks that Vivi's in Elbath. That Kuma warped, teleported her to Elbath. That would be nice because she was with Little Garden with the crew. So if she's in Elbath, that's like completing that circle, with the giants and all that. But that's my theory about the Shiryu thing. Another actually, I did have another one about Sabo. Not sure if you remember this. The Sabo he uses mirror abilities and use the heat to make an illusion and make it think that she disappeared, but she's actually with him. I mentioned this in the channel. I guess you forgot. Because I brought the reason why I brought it up because I think we were talking about Fire Force and one of our tangents and that thought about like Sabo like like in Fire Force is these crazy abilities based after fire. So it'd be cool if Sabo does that. It also will demonstrate that Sabo he's on the higher level than Ace because we never seen Ace do anything like that. So, but yeah. But still, we didn't saw Vivi with Sabo. We seen Sabo a couple of times, but we didn't saw Vivi with him, so I don't think that's the case. But yeah. Then Usopp, he says, another funny moment. He like, you stop talking, this torture. Robin asked a question like, how does he knows all these things if the research got destroyed? And I love this moment. The name drop of the chapter. He's like, the Will of Ohara lives on. And I could picture this now in the anime. I'm picturing the background's gonna be blue, the wire color blue that they always do. He goes like, the Will of Ohara lives on, and then the music crescendos at that moment or whatever. And then we cut to the flashback here briefly. And then what he says, oh yeah, and then he explains, the what happened that day. You already know, And not sure about you, but Robin's emotions throughout the chapter got me. Like I didn't cry or anything, but I was like, like I felt the emotion. Not sure about you, but like Robin was very emotional throughout the chapter. And Robin, she's baby girl, she's best girl. So yeah, so yeah. yeah, Robin, like this is the most emotion we've seen from her in like a while. Like, yeah, she was angry in Wano. She showed anger a lot in Wano, but like sadness, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. He talks about Clover. That he knew Clover, and we see a young Clover right here. He looks like a Shad. His clothing is still the same. Yeah, he's still wearing the same clothing, but he looks like a Shad. Uh, and it's interesting. The Marines capture him at least 10 times, so that means he escaped 10 times as well. He escaped those times, or they just let him free. We're going okay. They're like, yeah, okay, just don't do it again. But then he just keeps doing it. I don't know, because if they capture him and he managed to escape, I don't think they put him in put down because um, there haven't been no escapes in the put down. Well, during this time. So I don't think he was in put down. Um, that was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, and then this happened to Pedro as well. Pedro, he was learning about the polygons and all that, but the that's a no. That's illegal in the world of One Piece to learn about the polygons. So they label Pedro as a pirate. So I'm assuming they did the same thing with Clover. Well, maybe, or nothing too intense as Pedro, but maybe something similar happened with Clover. And then here
That
we see
that silhouette. That
the
silhouette.
first here we see the first silhouette of Dr. Vegapunk. And and the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, what the hell is that? That's the first thing I said. The second thing that came to my mind was Good Night Pum Pum. The manga Good Night Pum Pum, right? We talked about it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I
So
haven't read it. So
yeah, I haven't read it either, but I know, if I'm correct, there's a character that looks like the silhouette. Like it's not like the character. The character is a silhouette, if I'm correct, and he looks like
oh,
that.
okay.
So so that's
In
like the
my
second.
in my instance, I thought it was a fuzzy hat. I thought it was
uh
just wearing a very tall fuzzy hat,
huh.
but
Mm-hmm.
Doug Dimmadome style.
The yeah. Which is I guess will be funny because one of the punks, they have like this heavy Texan accent. So so I guess that would been funny. That would been funny. But no, later we see his sign, and it's not a hat. I thought it was Strawberry, the Vice Admiral Strawberry. He's the guy with the really tall hat. I'm assuming you don't. That silence tells me that you don't
No,
know
I
him.
do not
No.
remember. No, I do not.
Okay. So, Vice Admiral Strawberry, he's it's so funny because all the, he's like Strawberry. He's a background like Vice Admiral. Like you see him every now and then, but you don't see much from him, right? But someone asked Oda why Strawberry has a really tall hat, and Oda replied, "That's actually his forehead, right?" And and Oda explains that every time he's sad, it gets taller. so um every time when I think about Strawberry, I think about that one scene from Film Z, because there's a moment in Film Z where we see a bunch of Marines. Strawberry was one of them, right? And I know you haven't seen C, so I'm saying this out of context, but
No, I've seen it. I've seen
oh,
it.
you seen it? Oh, okay, so you know the scene I'm talking about. That the
No, I do not.
Marines, oh, it's at the end where the where the Marines are fighting in sea, and then
Oh,
Kizaru, he's like he's fighting against the Marines. They're washing, and then they start crying. Some of the Marines, and Strawberry was there. So so every time I think of Strawberry, I think of that moment. And I'm like, his head probably grew 10 times after that day. because every more,
Just like the Grinch.
yeah, 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 because because every marine was crying. It's so funny because the first marine that starts crying is like the toughest looking dude. Like I don't know his name, but we see him throughout the series, and he has like he looks old. He has like a bunch of scars in his face. He looks like a really tough guy, and he's the first one who starts crying. And the strawberry's there. I just imagine after that fight, strawberry like someone's like strawberry, why your head is growing, and then the strawberry like don't you see, don't you see your why where he's giving because he says I'm going to give you your last lesson. And I just picture Strawberry. He's like, "Don't you see? He's giving his last lesson." And I'm like Strawberry. I feel you, man. Like it's a sad moment. I like see. This one was one of my favorite One Piece films. So so yeah. Every time when I see a really long head, I think of Strawberry. Um. So because of that fun fact, he's like one of my favorite by Samurals. um. Another, I guess, since you don't remember Strawberry, he was in the Kizaru, and then not Kizaru. He was in the Fishman Island flashback. He fought against what was his name? Fisher Tiger. He was there, if I'm correct. It was him and Kizaru.
Oh, okay.
They were there in the flashback. And of course, that was back in the day. His head was shorter. It was still long, but it was shorter since what it is now. So yeah. Oh man, that's so funny. Every time he's sad, it just grows. I just wonder the horrors how he's seen. He just gets sad. Every day, every day he comes for work after seeing the horrors that the Marines do. Yeah, he just gets sad. He's like, damn, what am I doing? Am I in the right path? Or I don't know. That would be funny. But yeah, let's continue with the chapter. Yeah, Vegapunk. He finds the lake. Okay, do you remember this? Do you remember that the scholars they threw all the books
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
into?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
because when it was burning, they were desperate. They were
Mm-hmm.
doing anything to save that knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Like I remember at the moment because I'm like,
uh huh,
oh yeah, oh shit. Like it was like that's so Raven style. That's what
yeah,
came to me.
yeah, 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 yeah. Same because like at the moment I remember I'm like, oh wait, they did. I'm like I was animating the scene because I'm like, yeah, yeah, it came to me. I'm like, yeah, yeah, they were throwing the books. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. So the rings they did nothing with the books. Um, I saw the scene and Marines. Some Marines did found the books and like Vegapunk, like Shaka says, they were too ignorant to know the importance of the books, so they just left it there. Which some people are annoyed by that. What do you think? Are you annoyed that the Marines left the books?
Like I'm not surprised. Like I mean the mission was a buster call and killed the civilians. It didn't say anything about the bugs.
Yeah, I know, but
Like it is a technicality. Like well, like that just shows that there's some incompetency, very major incompetency within the Marines. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
come on
yeah,
now. If the books exist, the knowledge will pass on. That's what makes it dangerous.
yeah, 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 and yeah, yeah, that's the thing. But we have seen throughout the series that the Marines are pretty incompetent. Um, the reason why I say the Marines are like very competent now is because they're very complacent. That's how I see it. The world government they're very complacent with the status that they currently have. Um, and maybe that's why the girls say they were not aware of Nika, for example, because they're like complacent. So I'm pretty sure I'm using that word right, right? Complacent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I think. That's why I think the Marines are like incompetent. Same thing with the world government. So it's very oh, what's the word? Uh, what's the word? It's very I don't know, not coincidental. It's very uh convenient. It's very convenient that it's very plot convenient. That okay, some Marines saw the books and they didn't do anything. But but also honestly, if I was a Marine in that situation, I'll be like, they're probably not functional. They're probably broken because they're in the water, you know. And this was
Yeah, the ink is it's gonna be running. They're gonna get
yeah,
pulled.
and
The paper's gonna break away.
yeah, and this was months after the event. Let me confirm how long has it been. Let's see. Unfortunately, the aftermath of those. I know he said like months, like maybe like a month or like 2 months after the Buster call. That's when he went there. And yeah, yeah. If I was a Marine, I'll be like, nah, they're probably the ink, like like the ink probably washed away. The papers are torn because of the water. You know. So also I'll probably be lazy. I'll be like, I'm not going to help out and get all these books out. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. I understand their incompetence. I understand. And another moment that I like was Shaka. He says that when he got there, he couldn't help from cry because he's like, Ohara succeeded. Yeah, he says right here, Ohara had triumph over them, over the world government, because the books, they're safe. Yeah, and then when I realized that, I couldn't stop myself from crying. Like, oh, that's nice. Um, and then we see Robin's backstory, like I guess a refresher, and I guess to hit emotional moments throughout the chapter. But yeah, really good, really good. Peak right here, peak One Piece right here. Um, like mommy, be proud, Robin. Your mama's an honorable woman. O'Hara stood up to the world. And then we see Robin crying. And then I love this moment. They're like, "Oh, you helmet wearing bastard! How dare you make Robin cry? That's it, Punk. You better release these shoes." Of course, they're going to fight. For that. But the real Robin, he's like, Vegapunk. It's just as you said. They came to the same conclusion about the kingdom before the incident. I see. So it's all true. And Robin asked, "Where are the books from the lake now?" I really wanted to take them back to Punk Hazard, but I knew if the top brass ever caught wind, it will all be over. So instead, and then they were taken by the people I saw that day. So it's so funny. My brother, uh, he was reading the chapter, and then when he got to this moment, he's like, "Oh, so we're gonna see dragon." And then, but then the first thing he says, giants. My brother's like, "Where do we win?" Because he was suspecting dragon, but it's like, "Oh, giants." Okay, he's like, "Okay, that's cool." But then we see dragon. He's like, "Ah, okay, the goat." He likes dragon, so he's like, "Oh, the goat is there." Uh, so yeah, this was 22 years ago, a few months after the Buster Call. So yeah, a few months after. And then so yeah, we see giants, and I did not notice this, but some people have been pointing out that the giants, they look like Hydrusion. He's the giant in Luffy's Grand Fleet. This guy right here. So he kind of looks like Hydrusion, and she looks like Girth, which is a member of his crew, and he also looks like the another guy from the crew. So yeah, so maybe he is Hydrusion, or maybe he's Hydrusion's dad, or whatever. I don't know, but not sure. I don't know. Hydrusion hasn't. I don't know. He didn't said. I don't know. Like he didn't hint at anything like to Robin and this Rosa. You're like, oh, you're Nico Robin. Like there was no interaction from what I remember. So I don't know. It's weird, but yeah. Maybe he's just a giant that kind of looks like Hydrusion, since he's like far away. We don't get a close up from him, so it could be him, could not be him. But yeah. Um, Either way, he sees some giants. He's worried because he probably thinks that they don't know the value of these books. But then we see Dragon. Dragon is there. He's like, "It's been a while, Vegapunk. As usual, the head of yours make you stand out." He's like, "Is that you,
Oh boy.
Dragon?" Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Where do you work out? At the library.
Yeah, at the library. Yep, that's where he works out. Yep, 24/7,
My man,
365.
my man, my man took Vegeta's Widow's Peak over 9,000.
Yep. Hmm.
It's that's some insane action. Christ, this is
Uh.
the most ridiculous Oda design
Oh yeah.
character,
They are definitely.
and that is saying something.
That's saying something. I don't think. I don't think. I don't think there's anything in the series that comes close to this. We cannot forget what that tongue do. Yo, hold up.
Bro,
We cannot forget about the tongue.
Barrow has some competition.
Oh yeah, he does. He does. Purple, definitely. Um, man, I don't know why.
I can't, I
Like
can't take him seriously.
no, I can't. I can't either. But um, I don't know why. I think he kind of looks like a dog, so because of the tongue. Because of the tongue. I know he's supposed to look like Einstein, but
Yeah,
but I don't
his
know why.
having his tongue out picture.
Oh yeah. Of course, knowing of course, although he took that like a character quirk, like oh he always has his tongues out, always, and it's like very long, you know. Oh man, and then his legs are so skinny too. Like he's very skinny, like the legs. He has no neck. And then the forehead. They are like man. And Dragon comments that
Forehead.
the
My
the the,
man, that's a
the,
nine head.
yeah. And Dragon he comments that it looks bigger from the last time they met. So maybe every time he learns something, maybe it gets bigger. Right? And I have a theory for you. Well, we when we get I will mention I guess I will mention it now. So we know that he eventually he reads all the books eventually. So someone theorized that what if, let me go back to the beginning of the chapter where you can see what I'm talking about. So what if this thing right here is actually part of his head, because he read so much knowledge that it grew to be this big, and this is just part of his head. This
Damn.
and he just cut it off because later we see his current design. The head just looks like it's been cut off. Um, but yeah, I will leave it at that. There's more to the theory. I guess at the end I will explain more. But
Not
yeah.
gonna lie, that was gonna be more a more gruesome theory.
Oh no no. There's
That he read so much they had to do the six satellites, or else he'll blow up.
well, I guess that's the part of it. Not that he will blow up, but yeah, the other part is that it grew so big that he did the egghead thing, and also he also cut he the rest for the bodies, for the satellites. So yeah, because at the end we see that his head is cut off, his forehead. So yeah, that's what people are theorizing. That maybe the previous user of the OPOP helped them out to cut him off, for that way he won't die. Um, but I think Vegapunk is smart enough to do it without without the aid of a Derofu, whatever he did. But yeah, oh man, I'm still surprised. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked that this is his design. Like I don't know. I just wonder. I wonder what was the conversation. The conversation between Oda and his editors. Like like Oda, he's like, yo, I here's Vegapunk's design. I finally I finally decide on his design. The editor is like, oh, finally, good. Let me let me see what you've been cooking, Oda. And then he shows him this. I just want to know. I just want to know what was the editor's reaction. I just want to know the whole staff, like not just all those editors. I just want to know everyone's reaction, like everyone in the Shonen Jump building. I just want to know what was their reaction to this design. like Horikoshi. I want to know what was Horikoshi's reaction. Togashi. You know, like what did everyone say when they saw this? Because I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure they read each other's series. You know, and
Yeah.
or all the. I'm pretty sure all the when Kishimoto is the the mangaka for Naruto. I'm pretty sure when they were publishing at the same time, they talked about each other's series. You know, so like what the Kishimoto thought. And I'm pretty sure all the email or he sent a picture. He's like, "Yo, Kishimoto, look at this. Look what I've been cooking." And then he shows this. Yeah, he shows him this. Oh man, I don't know, man. It's insane. It's like and low. Honestly, I like his fit. I like what he's wearing. Oh, the pants and the jacket. It's kind of like ignoring everything else. You know, like
which is hard to ignore.
ignoring 90% of his body because that is 90%. That is 90%. Ignoring like wait, let me go down here. There we go. See, there we go. I'm covering. Yeah. They're ignoring 90% of his body. He actually
Ignoring
has
his tumor.
yeah, he actually has a good design. Actually, like I like the design. Ignoring that, there's actually a panel. There's a panel right here. See this panel right here, where we see his face. I'm like, I was like, oh, cool. That's a cool. Like I don't know. He looks interesting. But the silhouette, and then we see the tongue. I love that all the he revealed him slowly. He like, oh, here's his face, here's his silhouette, here's his tongue. But then we see this. I'm like, wow.
I'm just imagining the anime when they reveal Vegapunk.
Oh
I
yeah,
can
he
just hear the sound effect, like the bam. You know the
yeah
sound effect I'm talking about, right?
yeah
Like,
yeah I know.
like when it shows in full body, I can just imagine it.
He's not.
Like
He's not.
when it gets to this panel.
Yeah, his head is not gonna be in frame. His whole head is not like right here in this panel right here. Like they're still missing parts of his head that's still not in
Yeah.
frame. Oh man, this is oh man. I can't believe it. But they talk. Going back to the story. Dragon is here for the same reason as Vegapunk. He knew Clover, and he's going to give him some flowers. Just like what Kanye said and the roses. What he says, we're not the flowers, with the roses. Go listen to the album, late registration. Good album.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vegapunk and Dragon, they're like, we the roses, and they brought the roses. And it says here, Monkey D. Dragon, head of the Freedom Fighters. So he's not a leader of the revolutionaries yet. 33 years old. And Vegapunk, head of the Punk Hazard Laboratory, 43 years old. So he's 10 years older than the Dragon. They talk. Throughout the conversation, it is revealed that Dragon, he actually asked Vegapunk to join the Revolutionary Army, or the Freedom Fighters, or what they're called right now. At this point in the story, and Vegapunk, he turned down the offer. He explains because they don't have the funds, they're poor. And he went with the world government because they have the funds and he could create stuff. It's also revealed that they have the same goal, the same end goal. Just Vegapunk, he's going at a different way, and Dragon, he's going at it his own way. And it's interesting. And throughout the conversation, it seems like Dragon, he's not very happy. Oh, Vegapunk's decision. He kept throughout the conversation. He kept calling him a lap dog, which he kind of does look like a dog. I did mention that. So yeah, Dragon, he's not happy with that decision. But we could. This is like he's 33 right now. He probably mature, and he probably sees things differently now. And we know that to this day they still talk because a couple of chapters ago they were talking. So yeah, they kept in touch, obviously. And there was a popular theory that Vegapunk, he had close ties with Dragon. He was probably a revolutionary. Vegapunk probably doesn't he probably helps out Dragon every now and then, but he's still going out his own way. He's fine. He's fine to fight his own way. And he does mentions that there are good people in the world government and in the Marines, which my first thought was Sword. That's the first thought that came to my mind. I'm like, is Vegapunk working for Sword as well? I don't know. I don't know. Or like the Vegapunk helped to create Sword. Because he says there's good people inside the Marines. I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's how he's going at it. And another thing to point out, Dragon doesn't have his tattoos. But he does has this like patch right here. He has like something here that resembles his tattoos. So I wonder if there's like the inspiration for his tattoos. I don't know. I love his drip though. I'm a Dragon hater, but I have to admit, I love his drip. I like his outfit. I like what he's wearing. The like that military s clothing, like that revolutionary type clothing. And he has like badges here, stars. It looks very nice. I like this design. I like this more than the current design. So yeah. What else? I think that's all. Yeah, from this double page spread. Um, let's see. And then they kept talking. Um, we learned that it's because of this event, Dragon created the Revolutionary Army. I think it was a year after the Ohara incident. He, Emporio Ivankov, and Barton Kuma, founded the Revolutionary Army, which continues to shake the world to this day. I told my brother the world. I told my brother, since I'm a Dragon hater, I told my brother the world shakes Dragon every day. He's always sweating. He's always sweating Kamabaka because of the state of the world. But yeah, nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
I cannot take that battle seriously.
Oh man. Something that I thought about when I read the chapter, I'm like, after reading the chapter, I said to myself, only in One Piece, you will see a character like Dragon having a serious conversation with a character like Vegapunk. Only in One Piece, and
Yeah.
and One Piece fans,
Yeah.
and the One Piece fans would be like, we're screaming Golda, we're screaming Goat. He's the Goat. That's why he's the Goat. Because we're learning a lot of good information, good chunk of information, world building. And it's between the most serious character in the series, talking to the most goofiest character in the series. And they're having like this serious conversation. They're mourning the death of a friend and all that. We're getting some lore drops, and it's kind of hard to to take it serious because of Vegapunk. Oh man, but yeah. Now we know that Ivankov and Barton Kuma were founders. Same thing with Dragon. I guess some people assume or like theorize that maybe that was the case. I never thought. It never came to my mind who were the founders. I just assume. Ivankov, she's they're high in the ranking, and same thing with Kuma. So it never crossed in my mind that maybe they were the founders, and I don't know. But it's cool. It's cool.
I didn't even know Ivankov was called Emporio.
Oh yeah, that's his name, Emporio. Emporio Ivankov. Yeah.
I didn't know. I when I first read this chapter, I'm like, who's Emporio? Because I thought there was a comma after Emporio, like Emporio, comma Ivankov.
And then you're like,
but they're only showing 3 people. I'm like, am I missing something?
Shaka is Emporio. Like, because yeah, I get you. I feel you. Yeah. If it were me, like, let's say if I was in your situation, I'll be like Emporio, from JoJo, Al Niño.
Yeah.
Like Al Niño, like who? Nah. But yeah, Emporio Ivankov. Yeah, that's his name. And Barton Kuma. Yeah. But yeah, to be fair, we rarely hear his last name, so yeah. So it's interesting. Each of them has a different reaction. Nami says Luffy's dad sounds fierce or sounds intense. Usopp, he heard Elbaf. I bet that's like the only. That's I bet that's the only thing he heard throughout that whole story. He's like Elbaf.
Yeah.
Usopp, Usopp. He's like, you lost me. You lost me the moment you said Elbaf. Yeah, which that was like one of the first thing he said in the conversation in this story. So, Robin says, Professor Clover faced motivate Dragon. So Dragon, interesting. Dragon didn't tell Robin. Now that I think about it, Dragon didn't tell Robin that I do Clover and that he motivated me to create the Revolutionary Army. So that's interesting. And then Frankie asking the real questions, like my head's gonna blow up. Why did Kuma help us? And why did you modify him so much, Vegapunk? And then Sanji, he's like, Eva, that bastard was one of the founding members of the Revolutionaries. So
I love the different reactions from the Straw Hat. They got something different from the story.
yeah, they got
Especially
something.
Sanji.
Oh yeah.
Like
Sanji,
I
he,
love Sanji and Usopp's reaction here.
yeah, Sanji, he heard Ewan cough and he probably forgot the whole story because that was like at the end. That was like at the end of the whole story. So so yeah. And now we get the big reveal. About the I did skip this part that Vegapunk, he mentions that he met a giant with a bunch of bandages, and he was the one who told the other giants to get the books. And when you got to that part, who did you have someone in mind when you got to that moment?
I mean, I'm like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
Is that mummy Salty Goodman? I mean, Salty Jaguar.
Yeah. Because you were like SpongeBob. You're like, wait a minute, maybe like that one meme. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I don't know. I don't remember if I had someone in mind. I think I just kept reading. I'm like, oh, a guy with bandages. Okay, cool. I'm like, I can't wait to see him. If he's still around. But yeah, he says the books from Ohara certainly couldn't be left to be founded by the government, but my curiosity compelled me to make a discreet trip to Elbaf, where the books were taken, and they allowed me to read each and every one of them. In other words, I took everything O'Hara uncovered about the world's secret and memorized it. It's all in my head, and I've continued the research. Really, I love this panel.
My man's head was gonna be the size of a giant.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's why that one guy commented in during a live reaction that that's why he thinks that Vegapunk head it grew so big that he created Egghead Island, and he cut off the rest to make the stellar bodies, which not the stellar bodies, the satellites. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. And since I want to ask you something, but since you're not up to date with Doctor Stone, I'm not going to ask because it could be a spoiler.
Okay.
So yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah. But
I should get to that. I should get to that.
yeah. Oh yeah, you should. Whoever's like watching this is up to this point of the video. Go watch Doctor Stone or read it. It's peak fiction. It's peak shonen. I love, man. Doctor Stone is so good, man. So good.
Yeah.
You should, man. You should. Top 5 for me, easily top 5. Easily top 5 shonen. But yeah. Yes, this kind of reminds. I don't know. This kind of reminds me of something from Doctor Stone, but I'm not sure. Because I'm like, am I making that up? But I have no one to ask. So yeah. But anyway, moving on. And I love this moment. With Robin. She says that giant captain, he's called Saul, isn't he? And he's like, he's in hiding now, so I can't confirm anything. But he's basically confirming. It's like yeah, that's Saul. And I love this panel. She's like smiling, crying. Robin went through some of his emotions in this chapter. It was like a roller coaster of emotions. But yeah, you love to see it. That he's happy. Because Saul, he's alive. So I guess I will ask you now: are you okay with Saul being alive?
I mean, it's a typical thing. Like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the residents of Ohara survived at this point.
Okay, but it's not okay. But this is different though, because Saul, he's a backstory character. Although
he goes ham with the deaths in the backstory.
Yeah, he goes ham. Like there's no mercy. when it comes to a backstory character.
I
But
mean, we did have a fake out with Sabo though.
but I don't know. That was Sabo makes sense. It was like, oh, we didn't saw the body, blah blah blah. But also we saw Dragon. He picked up a kid, and like, oh, this kid, he needs medical attention, blah blah blah, and you know. So it was there were hints that Saul survived that. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm perfectly fine with Saul being alive because it was like we've seen people survive Aokiji's ice many times in the series. Actually, someone mentioned that Aokiji, since Saul is alive, someone mentioned that Aokiji hasn't killed anyone in the series. Then, you know, with his ice. Because there was Saul. Now we know he survived. Luffy, of course, obviously he survived. He froze. I think he froze Robin. Well, I don't know. I think I'm making that up. But I know he froze someone else from the crew. And then and that one moment with the Flamingo where he showed up and he froze the Flamingo, and the Flamingo, he escaped. He I don't know how he did it, but he's strong, so he escaped the ice. So yeah, it makes sense. Also, people point out that Aokiji, he didn't use ice time, he used ice time capsule on Saul. Um but um but if you keep reading, he does use ice time on Saul. Um Eventually he uses ice time. But either way, it's ice. The whole island was on fire. So it makes sense that he melted eventually. He thawed out, you know. And because of that, people are saying, oh, maybe he is the man marked by flame. Remember that kid, he was looking for a guy marked by flames. So maybe Saul, he's the guy. He's the guy that they're looking for. Because he could be marked by flames because of the horror incident. Also, ice does burns, So it's not marked by flames. It's marked by ice. But still, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought you were saying ice gets burned by fire. I'm like,
No.
no, but yeah, I got what you mean. It burns the skin.
Yeah. It burns the skin. Yeah.
Yeah. It can.
Yeah.
Especially
So.
with salt.
Yeah.
Don't try at home, kids.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no. but yeah. Saul could be the guy marked by flames, either because of the ice or because of the fires around the Ohara. So if he is alive, maybe Aokiji knows because they were friends, if I remember correctly. They were friends. That was like a tough moment for Aokiji. Like, oh, he had to kill his friend. Now we know he didn't. So yeah. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Some people like Mr. Morge, he's not okay with it. Not sure why. He didn't say why because he's planning on a video, like a full video to explain why. But he's the first guy. He's the first YouTuber I know that's not okay with this. Everyone else, they're fine because it's a good fake out death, because now Saul has a purpose in the story. He has the books. So he has a purpose now. He has his purpose. To give those books to Robin, and it also will be nice to see Robin reunite with Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's now a point to go to Elbaf.
Oh yeah.
Like, even more reason to go to Elbaf.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said when I got to the Elbaf thing. I'm like, oh, now we have we're going to Elbaf next, because there's some people, me included, but I wasn't that hardcore. Like there were some people that were like, nah, we're not going to Elbaf. We have no time. I was like on the fence because I'm like, oh well, maybe there's no time for Elbaf because maybe all the he thought like, oh, maybe there's no time for it or whatever. I was on the fence, but there were some people that were like very hardcore, like, nah, we're not going to Elbaf, ain't no way, blah blah blah. But because of the chapter, I'm like, oh no, we're definitely going to Elbaf. It's good that we're going to Elbaf because Elbaf has been more hyped up than Wano, like so yeah, and hopefully it's a good arc because what happened with Wano. Wano was an eye ending. A little bit rushed for me, but hopefully, you know, hopefully Obap is good. I don't know. Although he took a month again, he took a month to organize everything, and you could see it. Like he's going at a fast pace. So yeah, hopefully Obaf, is like a fast paced arc as well. So yeah, you love to see him, but Robin, being happy. And then well, the Shaka says what he says. Then Robin's like, "Thank you, Doctor Vegapunk. Thank you for not letting Ohara sacrifice being Bang." And he's like, "I try to help progress every field of thought possible. It's my nature as a scholar." And then the shoe starts moving. It's funny. Usopp is on the ground. I didn't know that. and and then they're all moving forward. Nami, she's trying to keep her balance. Same thing with Frankie, Robin, and Sanji. They look fine. And Shaka is like, "I can't release you just yet. Follow me. There's something I want to show you." Now, we could go back to this when we finish. Like to ask you what you think.
Not gonna lie.
Not
gonna lie. Those shoes looks like hooves in that panel.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It's like a hoof design. Yeah, they do. And then we go to the junkyard, Luffy's group. And it's so funny, they're trying to make the robot move, and they're like, "Oh, maybe it's like one of those robots that moves by itself." So they're like trying to give it commands. They're like, "Move, Robo. Does it need a special command? Maybe we just gotta say his name. Move, Robo Nosuke." So like, okay, Robo Nosuke. And then like, "Move, Robo King." That's probably Chopper. I'm pretty sure Chopper was the one who says "Move, Robo King." And then Bonnie, she's like, "You guys are just kids. Ain't no way it's move." And then it does something. Something happens, like a shock wave or like a wave comes out. They're like, "Wow, the robot's gonna blow." And then we see the current Dr. Vegapunk, his current design. And his quirk, I guess, is he says Quasar at the end of most of the words. He's like, "Say me Quasar." He's like, "No good under the debacle. Somebody please say me Quasar." Perhaps space time bent mid warp. So he's like, he was messing with space time and warping and all that. And then it's funny, they mentioned, there's a guy like Kinemon, but Kinemon was stuck with the dragon. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. I gotcha, sorry. And Bonnie, she knows it's him. She gets very angry. It's like, oh, it's him. Also Vegapunk recognized Luffy. He's like, "Oh, much obliged. You're Dragon's boy, right? I knew you come. Good job on making it." Like, "Oh, good job making it to the new world." And then he's like, "Oh my, Bonnie, dear me, you sure have gone big." And like, "Whoa, oh man, you're flowing." And he says, "It's splendid to see you full bigger." I'm like, "Oh yeah, Vegapunk, dear lord."
Bigger,
like,
yeah.
No bigger. Oh my god. Oh, she does. She has a lot of bigger. And then she's like, "Vegapunk," she's like very angry. But it's so funny. Vegapunk, he's like, he's acting like he doesn't care, or maybe he doesn't know, or maybe he doesn't see that what he did was wrong. He's like ignoring Bonnie. Honestly, he's like, she's obviously angry, but
he's pretty oblivious.
Yeah, he's very oblivious of the of her anger. That meme, how the Riddler from Batman, and it's his face. Does he know? like we need one for Vegapunk, and like, does he know? Oh man, I love that meme. Oh man, I love that meme. Does he know? Another one from the same channel, New Rockstars, is Thanos, and he's cooking something, and the text is like, "What is he cooking?"
What
is he cooking? Oh man, we need one for Oda. With Vegapunk's design is like, what was he cooking? What was he cooking with Vegapunk's design? Oh my god, I love those two memes from the New Rockstar channel. Alright, so he's like, "You can float too." I'm like, okay, Pennywise. I'm like, okay, Pennywise. That's the first thing I said when I read that line. "Those down shoes you're wearing have a nifty hover function." And Luffy's like, "What?" See here, press the button on the side, grab the lever, and give it a big old push like this. That's the way. He's like, Gazooks. We've flown too far. Save us, Quasar. And then, they fly off. I'm like, the humble genius appears. Dr. Vegapunk, the man with the biggest brain in the world, leader of the Navy's SSG, which now we know is the Special Science Group. Which I think, not sure if I brought up my theory of what SSG meant for. I think I said that it could stand for a special science group. But yeah. So yeah, we see him in his current design, and I love his current design. I love it. I love it way more. It's way
it's
better.
way better.
Yeah. And nothing changed. It's just well most of okay. Okay,
90% change.
90% change, but it's just that 10% is the same. See, and like I mentioned earlier, his design will be really good without the big giant forehead, and it's true. He looks way better, and I love the apple, which is probably a Newton reference. Isaac, yeah, Isaac Newton, and
And maybe to teachers as well, because there's this whole associating teachers with
apples.
apples.
Yeah. Apparently there's a Einstein reference to apples as well, but I'm not familiar with that reference. Randy Troy, he said he brought it up. He didn't brought up the reference. He just said that he knows that there's a story with Einstein involving apples, and he didn't brought up the story. So yeah, I didn't bother to look it up. So but apparently there's something with Einstein and apples, and but yeah. But the first thing I thought was Newton with the gravity. It's funny. He got introduced. He's floating. Anti-gravity, and if the apple is a Newton reference, it's just funny. Vegapunk, he didn't got the memo about Newton discovering gravity. He's still stuck on that. You know what I mean? People people before Newton discovering gravity, and they're all like floating in the air. So yeah, Einstein, he didn't got the memo that Newton discovered gravity. And then we got the coloring. This. I'm assuming this is Josh because of the art style. Yeah, Josh. So yeah, really nice with the Robin one and Grish. Gracia, she did the last one. Vegapunk, same Quasar. So yeah, it's really nice. I was gonna ask you something. So what was it? Let me go back. Let's see. Here. Okay. So what do you think Vegapunk is going to show them? Shaka. What Shaka is going to show this group?
Honestly, at this point, no clue. No clue. No clue. I really don't know what to expect.
Oh yeah. So I think since we ended off with the actual Vegapunk, and Bonnie, she's obviously angry because of the Kuma situation. So I think we're going to get an explanation of Kuma from like Shaka perspective and from this Vegapunk's perspective, and I think we're going to learn about Kuma next chapter. Shaka is probably to explain the whole Kuma situation, like why did Kuma help them out and all that, and Current and the actual Vegapunk, he's going to explain to Bonnie why Kuma did everything that he did, and Bonnie, I think she's not gonna be happy. I don't think. I think it doesn't matter whatever Vegapunk says. I think she's not going to be happy. And maybe at first, maybe Luffy's not going to like whatever Vegapunk says, but then maybe eventually he's like, you know what? Oh, Vegapunk here kind of has a point or whatever. So yeah. Going back to the does he know memes. So yeah, does Vegapunk knows whatever he does was like immoral, I guess, in Bonnie eyes, or maybe Bonnie or Vegapunk knows what he did. Obviously, he knows what he did, or maybe Vegapunk sees it like, oh, Bonnie doesn't know the full story, so so maybe that's why he's like aloof when it comes to the situation. He's like ignoring her anger. Either way, I think that's what's going to happen next chapter. That's what I think Shaka is going to show the crew, and that's what Vegapunk's gonna talk to Bonnie about. And maybe we'll get a brief update on Sora and Brooke. So yeah, I don't know, because we do need to know like if CP0 is like coming, and Zoro and Brooke, that will be like the good colorway for that, you know. And then Brooke will finally fight a CP agent, will be cool. Brooke versus Kaku, since Zoro, and then Zoro fights against Lucy, that'll be nice. I want Sanji versus Lucy, but since Zoro will be the first one to meet with Lucy, so I think that's what's going to happen. But then Stussy scene, there's not gonna be Karibu if he's still on the ship. Karibu versus Stussy. That would be funny. And then the Karibu honorary Straw Hat for this arc. So yeah, what do you send me? Let's see. Does he knows? You made this?
Yeah, right on the spot.
Okay, that's funny. You know what? The text that says, "Is that you?" I could change that to "Does he know?" Yeah, I could change that. Man. For the thumbnail, since we're talking about "Does he know?" For the thumbnail, I want to use Robin, because the whole chapter is like a namesake, for Robin and all that. Ohara.
Yeah.
I was going to use this panel right here. I was working on it before we started the video.
Yeah.
But the does he know is very tempting. Yeah, like Vegapunk, that image of Vegapunk, or another good Vegapunk image.
Yeah.
And it's very tempting, to use him and just write "Does he know?" And I guess I'll post it on social media for people who use it as a meme or whatever. But yeah, so funny. My other option was this panel, because I used to love this panel of Shaka right here.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, and he's like, all the knowledge is right here. So yeah, but yeah. Anything about I don't know. Honestly, this chapter was pretty quick. I don't know if you ask me. Like, yeah, we learned a lot, but most of it was headcanon that a bunch of people had theorized. But it's just conjecture. So so it's still headcanon, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened 900 years ago in the Boy Century. Or maybe that's not the full story, and that, although he mentioned this now, because it's not like the full story. So it's truly just conjecture from Shaka. But I think that's the case. I don't know. And also interesting. He says the 20 kingdoms. That includes Alabasta. So back in the day, Alabasta was evil, you could say. But throughout the years, they got they became good. Because I don't think it was Cobra. I think it was like his ancestors that decided to stay in Alabasta. So eventually at one point, they started to become good. They started to distance themselves from the Celestial Dragons. So that's good. And then also that would be nice that BB since it will be like the opposite of what happened with her ancestors. Her ancestors helped out to create the world government. Now she's going to help out the Straw Hats and the revolutionary armies to take down the world government. So that would be nice to see whenever we get the whole boy-centered backstory. Which now I think we're not, because at first I thought a bunch of people thought that we were going to get boy-centered backstory in this arc. But now, since we know that Elbaf has the books, Boy Century backstory has to be in Elbaf now, which that's nice. That's cool. I still think this arc is gonna be really short. I don't know how many chapters has it been, like 8 in this arc right now, 8 or 10, around there roughly.
It can't be more than 10. 10 seems way too much.
Well, like I think it's been 8 chapters so far. I'm not sure how many chapters has it been in this arc. But But I think if it's the short is gonna be if this arc is gonna be short, I think it's gonna be maybe I don't know. I think 20 chapters will be fine for the whole arc as a whole. I just don't see this arc lasting long. I don't know. I know Lucy, yeah, Lucy, he's on his way, but he should not be a problem. Seraph and Kuma maybe. Oh, the Seraph and Kuma also you have to, but now I don't see it being too much of a problem. I don't know. And there's also the theory that Lucy could switch sides, which will be interesting, but I just don't see it. I don't know. Lucy, he is questioning why they're going to kill Vegapunk, but I don't know. It is interesting that he is questioning the mission. You know, he's not that type of guy to question the mission, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I think that's all. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all we could discuss. What about you? You have anything to discuss?
I'm at that One Piece is crazy good this week.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah. It is. Yeah, it is crazy good. And like we've been saying every week, you know, the shackles of Ola. I mean, the shackles of Wano. You know, they're free. Ola is free from the shackles of Wano. So yeah. It's been like there haven't been a bad chapter in this arc so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, every chapter so far has been like really good.
I mean,
So
there's so little chapters, so it's hard to fuck up.
oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I can't wait to see Vegapunk animated. I can't wait to see the Stella body animated. But yeah. Also, I noticed he's wearing back in the day in that one panel, like the first Vegapunk panel we got, he was wearing stripes, and now he's wearing polka dots. So yeah, you know, he changed his wardrobe style. And another thing, I guess something that I just remembered, Randy Troy brought up that it's cool. Well, you know, like I guess it's kind of cool. It's like that all the you know Einstein real life, you know, he was used by the government to create weapons, weapons for the government. And now here, in One Piece, the One Piece version of Einstein, he's basically doing the same thing. The world government is using him for the same thing. So yeah, that's like an interesting, that's always the oldest inspiration. Like it's interesting to see. It's cool. It's cool. I just remember another thing. So, look up on Google right now, Leo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Einstein's cross. Look up Einstein's cross.
Cross?
Yeah, cross. That's on cruise cross.
Einstein cross. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Einstein cross.
What does it look like?
It looks like a cross.
No, but in One Piece terms, in One Piece, in One
It
Piece.
looks like the world government logo though.
Okay, yeah. So I think some people are saying like, oh, this is like a big fine, like, oh, this is crazy. I think it's just coincidence. I think it's just a coincidence. I don't think it's anything but a coincidence. That Einstein cross happens to look like the world government logo. Um, I don't know. It could be more than just a coincidence, but to me, it's just a coincidence. Um, but still, it's cool. It's cool. It looks like the logo. The first image on Google is like a blue, like some blue balls that look like the cross or the world government symbol. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But
a lot of people have blue balls.
yeah. Especially this month. This month of November.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so yeah. I don't. I haven't. I don't know. I haven't read any theory that convinces me like, oh, there's something more to this Einstein cross than just a coincidence. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But still, it's cool. It's a cool find. It's a cool find. Yeah. I guess that's all. No. Yeah. I think that's everything. So yeah, that's the video. Leave a like if you like the dislike if you don't. Subscribe. Are you gonna say something though?
Fuck. Hit the subscribe button, just like Twitter's about to hit bankruptcy.
Yep, yep. Do that. We talked about this off screen. I don't want to repeat the conversation again. But but yeah, do that.
There's some funny
Uh,
tweets though.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
some
yeah,
funny tweets.
yeah. They are. And yeah, see ya.